He then enters the second state of yoga, known as vichara, inquiry. He eagerly resorts to the company of holy ones who are well versed in the scriptures and in spiritual practices. He knows what is to be done and what is not to be done. He abandons evils like vanity, jealousy, delusion and greed. From the preceptors he learns all the secrets of yoga. So this is the spiritual seeker that we're talking about here. He's talking about inquiry in a rather exoteric sense. The translators put a note at the bottom of the page. Of course, vichara means direct observation or looking into. And I suspect the translator probably is thinking the same as I am, that this paragraph isn't really giving us the true meaning of inquiry. It tells us in chapter 120 that it's just reflection in this case, so I don't think we've got the true meaning of inquiry here. What we've got here is the 7 states of yoga, which are being described here as a long-term practice. And it's an ethical practice. I suspect it's actually something similar to the Buddha's eightfold path. Easily thereafter he graduates to the 3rd state of yoga, known as asamsanga, non-attachment or freedom. He roams the forests in seclusion and strives to quieten the mind. Adherence to the scriptures and to virtuous conduct bestows upon him the faculty of seeing the truth. No, it doesn't. We've got here a very mundane explanation of the 7 states of yoga. We came across them way back in section 3, chapter 118, and it's quite easy to understand them as spiritual practice, which is going on from moment to moment. And all these 7 states of yoga are part of that spiritual practice. But here it's being spread out and elaborated into some kind of quasi-spiritual lifestyle. So it seems to me that the point is being quite badly missed here. So let's just press on. It's basically giving us a moral understanding of the 7 states of yoga, which maybe suits some people, and it does seem like quite a nice thing to do if that's what you're looking for. But the true meaning of self-inquiry is absent from this description. So let's just press on anyway. This non-attachment or freedom is of 2 types, the ordinary and the superior. One who practices the first type of freedom feels, I am neither the doer, nor the enjoyer, nor do I afflict others, nor am I afflicted by others. All this happens on account of past karma under the aegis of a god. I do nothing, whether there is pain or pleasure, good fortune or calamity. All these, as also meeting and parting, psychic distress and physical illness, are brought about by time alone. Thus thinking, he investigates the truth. He is practicing ordinary non-attachment or freedom. There's no investigation here. This is just an attitude that is being struck up. It's a belief that is being taken on board, and the attempt is to investigate it in the sense of making things fit that belief. Vasishta continued, by the diligent practice of this yogic method, by resorting to the company of the holy ones and the avoidance of evil company, the truth is clearly revealed. I doubt it. Again, I doubt it very much. But I don't want to be cynical about this. It's difficult not to be, though. The truth does not come about through good behaviour. The truth is not dependent on good behaviour. The truth is not dependent on anything except the truth, except us being open to it. And anybody can be open to it as long as they can drop their attachments. And being able to drop attachments is not dependent on being a good person, just the opposite. You can be a good person and be totally attached to things. You can be a bad person and be able to drop attachment. In fact, very often bad people might find it easier because they're used to rejecting things They're used to rejecting moral standards. So this idea that somehow the truth is revealed to the virtuous, it's a traditional teaching. It's a traditional teaching. Certainly, if you are a virtuous person, then the chances are you'll feel less pain. You'll feel less existential pain. And so once the truth has arisen, then perhaps you'll find it easier going. But the truth can make itself manifest to anybody, just like the rain or the sunshine falling. It doesn't discriminate on the basis of behaviour. And the next paragraph actually backs this up to some extent. But let's finish this one. When thus one realizes the Supreme, which is the only essence or truth beyond this ocean of samsara, he realizes, I am not the doer, but God alone is the doer. Not even in the past did I do anything. I don't know why God's been brought into it. It's God with a small g here. But anyway, the point is to realize that you as a personality do not do anything. He abandons vain and meaningless words and remains inwardly and mentally silent. This is superior non-attachment or freedom. And this is the realization of the truth. This is actually the first step. He has abandoned all dependency, above and below, within and without, tangible and intangible, sentient and insentient. He shines like supportless and limitless space itself. This is superior freedom. In it he enjoys peace and contentment, virtue and purity, wisdom and self-inquiry. So this is actually the first state of yoga, the first realization which, through practice, we become more further established in. The first stage of yoga presents itself to one by accidental coincidence, as it were, after one has led a pure life full of virtuous deeds. I'd agree with the first half of this sentence. I think the mind that has written this has a lot of trouble distinguishing between spiritual truth and moral behaviour. One who sets his foot on it should cherish it and protect it with great zeal, diligence and effort. Thus he should proceed to the next state, inquiry. By diligently practicing inquiry, he should ascend to the third state, freedom. So we've gone back to the first state here, and we've been told it's accidental coincidence based on a life full of virtuous deeds. And then once we've touched it, once this coincidence has happened, then we protect it, we become established in it with great diligence and effort. And we do that by inquiry. This is when we get to the next stage, practicing inquiry. So there's the initial insight, there's a realization that it's worth something, that it's worth pursuing. There's something of intrinsic value here. And we become established in it by direct observation, by inquiry. Rama's next question pertains to this topic of virtue